We'll see.
At least they must.
We'll see. All right, so let's talk about C'est La Vie versus RBIS. First up, what happened to C'est La Vie? What has happened to this team? This is a team that has performed well, at least to be good enough to make it to the Gold League. We were excited to have them part of the team because they were led by Callis, who led Wreak Havoc, which was the first team ever in WGLNA history to win a match against Fnatic. So there's definite potential there. In regular season.
In regular season.
In regular season. Regular
Regular
season.
season.
Yes. Regular season. Group play. So we esteemed Callis, you could say. We estimated their team was going to do well. However, they've been having some problems, and that comes down to people showing up, not showing up, what have you. Despite that fact, what's important is that they're here to play tonight, and they've made some changes. We're going to talk to the team representative tonight about those changes. RBIS, they had a win against Victoria's Secret, which was great, obviously, but that was their rival. And they come in and they play against top tier. They play against #RU. They play against these other teams. And RBIS is showing potential. They're ahead, and then they fall apart. Is it experience, lack of experience? Yes, you can attribute that to a lot of things. What has to happen is more time. That is the only remedy in my experience when it comes to storylines for these teams, is the more time they have in the league itself, they'll start to find out who they are, what their strengths are. And we're seeing glimpses of that here and there, and that's what these teams need. That's the antidote. That's the prescription from Dr. Clutch, is more time to play in the Gold League. And with that, we're going to jump into the face-off with the two team representatives tonight from C'est La Vie and RBIS. Gentlemen, good evening.
Hey, guys.
Good evening.
C'est La Vie, let's start with you. You're at the bottom of the division. Now you've had a change with leadership. Please tell us what has happened and how you guys are going to rally together and how the morale is for the team right now.
Well, for the most part, our losses so far have been due to attendance problems, as you said. We went in with 6 against Sim. We didn't have our main players in the previous match. For this one, we've actually got our full lineup on, and on top of that, I'm running the team this time, so we hope to completely turn things around, if possible.
All right, Big Cheese, I already am rallied just because of your accent, but can you detail for us where you're from?
I'm from England.
He's from England.
South Coast. I live in Scotland right now.
All right, on. What better way to celebrate Independence Day than to have one of our English companions join us?
America.
America, that's right.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you need to focus on as a team besides strengthening the rosters in order to get yourselves out of the bottom of the division?
Team cohesion, I think, and some more various strategies.
Will Callis still be a member of the team, or is he going to back out of the team altogether?
Yes, in fact, he's going to be playing today. I'm just taking over for him.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. We wish you all the best of luck as a new team captain and to your team. Let's kick it on over to RBIS. RBIS, you faced two teams that have Gold League experience. Now you are back facing a newcomer like yourself. Do you guys feel better about tonight compared to the other matches that you've had so far in the season?
Well, I want to go back to your previous statement. I think we just need a lot more practice. We started in Open League, and then we went to Bronze League, rushed right through, Silver League, rushed right through, and now we're in Gold League. It's kind of a huge, step up, and I just don't think we have as much exposure to the league as some of these other teams. I just think we need to just keep practicing until we can get to these the higher caliber of teams. But C'est La Vie, we played C'est La Vie a few times in Silver League, and I think this is going to be a pretty fun rematch, kind of like how we did with Victoria's Secret. I really look forward to it.
Well, lucky enough, you have a lot of teams that are joining pretty much. It's almost like the freshman class in Season 4. You have a lot of new teams that you're going up against. So you're not only facing just Gold League experienced veteran teams, and that's a good thing as well. Everyone is getting better altogether. Do you have any words for your opponents before we start RBIS?
I look forward to a good rematch. GLHF.
Big Cheese, any words?
07, and tell legit to carry a fire extinguisher.
All right, gentlemen. Best of luck. We'll see you on the battlefield.
Thank you.
Thank you.
legit, you got to get that automatic fire extinguisher. Rookhill keeps talking about it all the time. I know you want to use rations, but look at the pros and cons. Look at the pros and cons. And there are pros and cons to both of the consumables. You can, you have a faster reload time and maybe very, very small, but it can be something. It can be something.
Or you could choose to not be on fire.
Yeah, it's a choice too.
You can choose. Clutch, if I asked you, would you like to be on fire or would you like to not be on fire? What would your answer be?
Not fire.
Exactly. It's a very simple answer to a very simple question.
Fire, bad. That's
Fire,
how I would answer.
while cool, is bad on your body.
All right, let's take a look at the rosters between these two teams and some of the outliers you can say when it comes to performance. What are we looking at for RBIS and C'est La Vie?
Okay, so RBIS, Ox Mathis, all the time, just messes people up. He is so carry guy. I mean, he just carries all the time. He does so much damage, and he does so well on his team. Behind him is, of course, Carbon Ward, who does very well with him, but got to give it to Ox Mathis for RBIS. C'est La Vie, yeah, so they're having some trouble. And as far as performance goes, I mean, Big Cheese has actually been probably the top performer for C'est La Vie, but the thing is, they have 3 battle victories out of 12, 13 battles played. That's... we haven't seen them be able to perform. They just haven't had a chance to be in an advantageous position for someone to actually perform to the best of their abilities and score appropriately. We see the low damage counters from all over C'est La Vie because they aren't able to win right now.
All right, with that being said, Rookhill, between these two teams, it's all right. It's all right.
Cool, yeah.
We
I could go on forever.
The numbers are there, and Rookhill loves the numbers. But you look at the story, what's happening. If C'est La Vie does not win this match, they're not going to make it to the finals. Plain and simple. But they still can use every opportunity they have with every match they have for the rest of the season in order to improve. That being said, Rookhill, what do we have when it comes to Rouge rules for victory?
All right, my rules. First, suck it up. C'est La Vie. You're getting beat all the time. It sucks. Feel down. Frustrated. People not showing up. Everyone's here today. I think they might have done that. Got a little pep talk in them. And we'll see if C'est La Vie can improve from that. After that, float like butterfly and sting like a bee. RBIS does all right in the damage. C'est La Vie, I was talking about this earlier with the low damage scores. Maybe you're not the kind of team that outright brawls. Maybe you're the kind of team that needs to kind of guerrilla tactics your opponent. Just be mobile, be aloof, and get damage in where you can, find advantages, find weaknesses, and exploit them. But the all-ins might not work for C'est La Vie all that well. Following that, second strategy. This one goes, I think, for a little bit RBIS and a little bit C'est La Vie. Both of these teams need to have that second step better planned out. We see the opening moves. They're very competent. They're very comprehensive. Just everything right after that needs to be a little bit more practiced, a little bit more prepared. I think that's where all these teams improve.
Improvement across the board. We're going to have to see how both these teams will perform tonight. Will RBIS get a win and be closer to the finals, or will C'est La Vie finally get out of the bottom position in their division? First battle will take place on Himmelsdorf, the map of the day, the map of the week, but it's only one day today. What do we have for tanks, Rookhill?
For tanks, 3 5100s and 2 IS-3s, 2 T1 Cunninghams. For RBIS, in the red. Spawning in the blue, the north, C'est La Vie will have 4 5100s, a single IS-3 and 2 T1 Cunninghams.
Wow.
Yeah.
That damage.
Lots of burst waiting to happen there.
But they still have the one IS-3.
Yes.
Which I like this decision because if you did all 5100s, again, burst damage, fantastic. But if you have one of them on the reload, okay. We've just been told by our admin that there has been a disconnection. We both will have to leave the game.
You can go back to garage. Happens from time to time.
Since no tanks have been spotted, they are able to call the disconnect. And we'll have to wait until everybody's back in the garage in order for us to continue in this series. But again, looking back at the one IS-3 and the 4 5100s compared to 3 and 2 or 2 and 3, you have the consistent fire, you have the brawler.
Yes.
that can get into the mix of things compared to the 5100. It's like, I'm a glass cannon. Well, there's enough of us, but once one of us falls, it's the diminished firepower is just multiplied even more.
You're probably going to lose that first tank into the engagement anyway, so you might as well bring an IS-3, something that's a little beefier, that's going to bounce a few more shells, and also is going to get a bigger one shell that he actually gets to land. That's why you bring it in that kind of a lineup. Oh, I need to hit the battle button.
Yep.
And then we'll all get going in just a sec. As the DC player, who was that who disconnected?
I'm not sure.
Huh. Interesting.
It wasn't us.
No. Well, we would have probably said something very confused, like, what?
No, what's happening?
And then made a confused face, and then one of us would have looked over at the other, and I would have been like, Clutch, what's wrong? And then I would have looked down, and something would have been wrong, and that would have been it.
Yeah, that would have been it. Then we would have continued with the match if one of us was still in the engagement.
Wonderful hypothetical, isn't it?
Yeah. The hypotheticals are part of our jobs. But it's also part of the storyline here with these two teams. Whenever you're a team in a new position, a new place, you are fueled by hypotheticals a lot. You think, okay, if we win this or if we do this, here's the next step. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. If we don't win this, we have to look at the hard numbers. Hypothetically, what if this tank was the first to fall? Yeah. What if our T1s are falling too early? You have to work with a lot of those hypotheticals and those understandings of strategies, because as much as you want to emulate another team, as much as you want to emulate the success of another team, which all these teams want to emulate Fnatic or Simp, they don't want to directly emulate one for one the strategies that they bring, because who better to know your own strategy than the people that put it together? You have to make these strategies your own. You have to make this game your own. As Nagatron said to Hammer Time, they have to play their own game, which Hammer Time has been doing better, which these other teams are starting to get their own identity when it comes to World of Tanks. And that creates a different mix-up in the meta and a different mix-up when it comes to strategies in place for these different maps. Victoria's Secret, the best example so far in Season 4. Map, Ruhenberg. Map right now, Himmelsdorf, same tanks. Here we go, Rookkill. Let's run through them one more time now.
All right. Remind you guys, 3 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams for the side of RBIS. C'est la vie. We'll bring 4 AMX 5100s, an IS-3, and 2 T1s. Opening strategy from RBIS is going to be towards the hill. It looks like Carbon Ward leading the way. Legit, Sella, Akiyama, and maybe even Oxmathis. Oh, Aquavolt right in the back there in T1. All up to the hill. That is a huge overmatch waiting to happen. C'est la vie will be doing much the same, it seems.
Hillside, except for 2 tanks, is a Commodore is one of them, the IS-3. Bao Bao is down below, along with Doppler. So all 4 of the AMX 5100s are heading towards the hillside. And RBIS fell in a trap when they came this way last time against #RU. Will the same thing happen again?
Well, I think we also saw another trap from RBIS on this map. Was that against Victoria's Secret? In their first week of play, when they were able to, from the south, I think they were the blue team at the time, make this similar push to what they're doing right now. Yeah, I think this is the same strat. This is RBIS's normal play for Himmelsdorf, although they may have added an extra tank to the top. I think they only had 4 last time.
Well, they would have 1 tank sweep really close to the edge. Oh, Llama Leaf takes on Aquavolt first.
But no one spotted. Not from RBIS, not yet. And Big Cheese. No, Big Cheese is going out in the open, and the trap is sprung.
2 shots, 1 track. Oh, 1220 damage against Big Cheese. He's the first to fall, the tier 8s. And now Callus is taking hit. They're trying to back up. It's a trap. It's a trap is what he's calling out. 1254 done against him. Llama Leaf trying to cover. Lord Reknaps around the corner. It's too many tanks up on the hill. They did not anticipate this. Llama Leaf, now the next one's going to fall.
And I don't see a situation in which RBIS is able to come back from this. Sorry, C'est la vie able to come back from this. RBIS, perfect trap. And now Sella gets to take down Llama Leaf.
Lord Reknaps bounced a shot off the front of Sella right before he fell. Reknaps trying to leave. Carbon Warden legit on the chase. It's Grand Theft Tank right now. Lord Reknaps is low on health.
And he's got 5 stars.
Oh, and he crashed. He crashed into the side. Oh. He gets taken out legit. Able to T-bone him.
Ouch. That's what happens when you get 5 stars.
Commodore pushing down to the south. Last tank alive. No damage. Was not on the hill. He's going to go for the flag cap. He's going to try to do something. Gabriel Angelo sees him. Gets the crash. but fires right before for the kill. And
That
now
is
he's
a-
going to head to the north.
Brutal start to this series. Absolutely brutal opening from RBIS. That is one way to set yourself into a dominant position. Just getting in the heads of C'est La Vie. Aggression like that, how do you respond?
Akiyama, Ox Mathis get hit. I like that RBIS was able to, initiate and get the kill, but I also like that C'est La Vie at least had a plan. The plan completely fell apart to RBIS, but and that's it. RBIS takes battle number 1. Back to what I was saying, at least it was some sort of coordinated effort happening on the hill. They made that choice. They knew what they wanted to do. They did not anticipate that many tanks coming out from RBIS because they would have had the overmatch. There's only 1 or 2 tanks from RBIS.
Yeah, but why does a T1 decide I'm going to go forward after getting spotted? A T1 would always go off to the side or attempt to escape. But in a situation like that, if a T1 is going to go forward after getting spotted and say forward is the best direction, let's see what I can do, there's obviously something there. It's just in the actions of the T1 that reflect the backup he's going to receive. When that T1 comes up, you push back after getting the kill. You want to get momentum off that C'est La Vie, but you're also running into an obvious trap. If you don't go around that corner and see someone directly to your south, and that T1 is not backing down, that is a trap. And that is something that C'est La Vie has just learned. Hopefully, they will never forget. And hopefully no one else in the WGLNA will ever forget that, because that is RBIS's plan, to set a trap.
The North remembers. The North remembers to set up that trap. And that is how they're able to get it from those that spawn from the south. All right, well, the next battle is going to take place on Abbey.
Oh, deja vu?
Another draw.
Anyone?
Another draw.
I don't know about another draw. We could see another Cap Fast. We could see any number of things.
Possibly.
I
Well, maybe
mean-
we'll see a T-32.
After the play last week from Simple Tankers
Mm-hmm.
and some previous attempts at Cap Fast, I think the Cap Fast strategy on Abbey is developing more and more. We're going to see a meta where teams will attempt to Cap Fast against the team camping in the West, and then we will also see the development of strategies to better defend, and then we will see better counters to those better defenses back and forth. That's the growth that I'm looking for.
Possibly. Or we'll see the team in the north go to the very southwest and the other team trying to figure out how to stop it or vice versa. But Rookhill, more importantly, on Abbey, battle number 2. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 1390 against Clutch. Hold your breath for this one. 2 5100s and 3 T-32s.
Man, I love to be an American.
America, y'all.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so glorious.
Beautiful, isn't it? All those T-32s just rolling across the open ground with their amazing suspensions and 7 road wheels.
Yep. 7. It's a lucky
Yes.
number. All right, let's follow C'est La Vie in the south. They're going to head to that southwestern position.
I like how I picked up 7 road wheels as the important fact. That's what's important about the T-32, guys. It's got that many road wheels.
Now, I'll tell everyone why this is such a beautiful tank. It's because of the front armor on the turret. 298 millimeters of nigh impenetrable armor to the front of the turret. Now, the hull, it can't be invincible, otherwise it wouldn't be in the game. But the hull is it's the weak point of the tank. However, you get this guy in a hold down position, the consistent fire, the damage output, the sheer monstrosity, the presence of freedom, and how it touches the battleground and spreads across the flora and the fauna in a way so beautiful that poets have been unable to recreate that type of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
That is a T-32.
Does it paint everything the colors of the American flag?
Red, white, and blue? Colors
Yes.
we're wearing today?
I'm red and white, and you got blue.
And I'm blue.
America.
Yes, it does. All right, so 3 T-32s. Make sure to write that down.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you for reminding me. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Got your tallies. We're going to keep up on it. See which one of you guys guesses right.
Well, as beautiful as this tank is, it always comes down to the ones that are driving it and the strategy that they bring as a team. And this is their strategy. C'est la vie, staying in one spot, waiting for RBIS to come to them.
And you could have both sides waiting to try and make their move. Well, C'est la vie, no. No, they are defensive, aren't they?
Oh, super defensive.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
are super defensive.
The RBIS position is a little bit less defensive. You've got Ox Mathis at base in a 1390, but he can flex to the north easily. Got Sella watching the ridge, and then down below you've got Aqua moving up.
We have a tweet coming in from Solaris Swan. Never mind the T-32s in the game. One of the T-32s on the cast desk, T-32 MIA. Hey,
Maybe you just haven't found it yet.
maybe you just haven't found it yet, my friend.
Look harder. You'll see it
It's there.
somewhere.
Or is it?
It's got really good camo.
Let's talk about possible scenarios here on Abby, all right? Middle section, you send Ox Mathis, you send Callus,
All right.
opposite sides of the team. What type of strategy, what type of scouting can you get with those tanks, or is it too dangerous to send them into that area? Would you rather send the T1s? Well, I say
Would you
that.
rather send the T1s?
Well, there's still 3 of them.
I mean-
was,
and as you say that, as you said it,
I know. That was
poor Aqua.
Aquavolt.
He needs more volts in his Aqua.
He needs more electrolytes for his electrofights.
Not
Well, let's
gonna
take a look at Dopper. He's in the bush. He's in the defensive position against his flag, waiting for the enemy to approach. Nothing's going to happen. Bao Bao, he is on the 1 line, and the T1, he's going to wait. Lord Reknaps and Llama Leaf still holding back.
And we've got Arbis. I guess the aggression from Aquavolt's kind of stopped him short. So we're not going to see them push anytime soon, I think. Arbis just going to take this defensive position and keep it. I don't actually agree with it as much as I agree with the southern defensive position. Akiyama and Legit are in a low ground as opposed to in that high ground. They can create a crossfire on the choke point, which is on the high ground. Sella can, of course, back off behind cover, and you force tanks to pick a direction and then give them 2 different lanes of fire from which they take damage. But you're not as able to respond from the current positions of the Arbis heavy tanks to your own cap, which I think opens up for C'est La Vie to make some kind of cap aggression. And because of that, I think this is an inferior position. But it could have been a temporary position from Arbis, as it does look like they are finally moving around after holding still for a while. They've decided we want to change this up, and they're going to actually reverse out of this position. Legit. In full reverse, locking his little turret.
Big Cheese and Callus and the AMX 5100s are going to move now to the north.
Really?
Well, when I say north, I mean 500 feet from their last position.
Hey, it's something.
It's something. While we're looking at the 5100s, let's talk about these French tanks. They're developed back in 1945 and it was influenced by German wartime tank designs.
They wanted to beat out that Tiger too.
In 1950, a prototype with an oscillating turret, which you see on the tank right now, and a 100mm gun was manufactured. The vehicle never entered mass production or saw service. So we have the rare treat to see what this vehicle would have behaved like in a wartime setting right here in World of Tanks and the WGLNA behind professionals. When it comes to tactics, it takes a whole team, a whole crew to make a tank operational. On the esports side, it's one man with a mouse and keyboard that could turn these into digital killing machines.
In movies and comic books, it's literally one guy.
Yeah.
He drives, operates the turret, everything. Loads the gun, one guy. Love movies like that.
Fury looks like a fantastic movie, by the way. If you guys were not able to see the interview that we had at E3 for the Wargaming panel, make sure to check that out. You can find that on twitch.tv/wargaming. Some more information here. When you play the 5100, the type of battle tiers you're going to go up against when you queue in public matches is 8, 9, and 10.
Yep.
When you're up against some of those tier 10s, ooh, be careful.
Oh, come on, load some gold rounds. You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
I actually discovered today that the Bat Chat, the tier 10 medium tank of the French line, the heat shells have the same penetration as the Object 416's heat shells. So a tier 8 gun has the heat penetration, the gold shell penetration, as the gold shells from a tier 10 medium tank.
Wow.
Blows your mind, doesn't it?
If you want to purchase an AMX 5100 in the garage, it's 2,552,500 credits.
Not cheap.
Has 1,400 HP, signal range is 750 meters. And here we go. Callus and Big Cheese now pushing up together as a team, 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
And what's this push going towards? What are they trying to do? Looks like...
I'm trying to do something,
Well,
obviously, but
come on.
is it the lower road or the higher road? That's the first question that has to be answered here. It's neither. It's them stopping and waiting for Bao Bao to scout ahead. Llama Leaf and Big Cheese will head towards the higher road, the road more towards the east, while the western road will be covered by the rest of the tanks. Bao Bao still moving forward.
Well, now the low road actually gets there first. Old song's wrong. And they're going to run into a bit of a split position from RBIS. You've got Sella on the high road, and there's the spotting. Akiyama and Racknips are going to run into each other. T-32 and IS-3 fail to connect on each other. I guess the surprise of seeing another tank out of nowhere is enough. Now Bao Bao is going to move up as a T1, and we're going to see a split push. The reaction from RBIS, is it appropriate? You've got 2 on the low ground, and you've got 3 up high. The best move from C'est La Vie might be to make this a split, but it also might be try and overmatch on one of the sides. Watch your ankles.
Oh, Sella takes down Bao Bao first to fall, but Llama Leaf may make that an opportunity to fire back against the IS-3, who's reloading but doesn't move there in time. Big Cheese, Llama Leaf stuck in the engagement now. Carbon War takes a hit. Big Cheese gets behind Llama Leaf here, but Selenox Mathis knows to get past the T-32 to focus on the 5100.
Here's the counter push. RBIS knows their advantage, and they're going to press it.
And they take down Llama Leaf. RBIS continues to push down south. Callus is the next one to fall. Lord Reknaps is hit again for 334, and he goes down. 2 tanks still left alive for C'est La Vie. It's Commodore and Doppler. They're close to the flag cap, way far away from the engagement, and that's part of the reason why they didn't have enough damage being output
Doppler?
towards RBIS.
What? Why is Doppler where Doppler is?
Well, his defense, and now he's moving into a different position. He's moving to try to escape these tanks coming to the south. But there's 2, 1, and it's a draw between both these teams.
Okay. Fair enough. I didn't see the clock. I missed that whole part.
That's what he was just making sure he doesn't get shot. He's trying to get out of there.
I mean, if you don't want to pay the repair bill, Doppler, I get it. But it was just kind of weird to see Doppler out of the fight. I just didn't keep track of the T8s. I don't know. It was really... That must have been why the fight went so just awry. I was expecting it to be a completely even fight. C'est La Vie, in a perfect 5v5, may have been able to win that battle. Unfortunately, I saw a lot of missed shells into dirt from T-32s. And some improper play that I think really hurt C'est La Vie. A lot more RBIS shells were connecting. And actually, let's take a look at the post-game stats and actually prove what I think is true or false. Yeah, we've got direct hits, 6 for 6 from Callus, but only 5 penetrations. T-32, Racknips, I saw shots going to dirt. Every time he fired, and he hit, penned, yes, but there were missed shots. Big Cheese didn't get enough shells out. Llama Leaf didn't get enough shells out. Commodore, well, we saw what happened there.
Yep. Was not an engagement at all.
Yeah.
But it was expected, more or less, coming out of Abby itself, due to the nature of how these teams approach this map. It's going to be different when it comes to Prohorovka. We're seeing a pattern here. Well, at least maybe a coincidence. 3 is a pattern, 4 is a program. Something like that. That Prohorovka will be the third map. It was the third map in the last series here between these two teams. RBIS could play this for another draw, though. They could play that type of game to make it a patient game and wait for C'est La Vie to come to them. But Simp did that against Victoria's Secret, and Simp lost that battle because Victoria's Secret got the flag cap. It's going to come down to the tanks that are brought. Is it the mobile tanks, or is it more the long-range, heavier ones? Rookhill, what do we have for tanks?
For tanks, T32, T69, 3 1390s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams for RBIS. That's T32, one more tick mark. And then C'est La Vie is going to add 2 more to that with 2 T32s, 3 1390s, a Lowell Tractor, and an MS1. That is a very interesting choice of T1s. Actually, the MS1 actually hits rather hard for a T1.
So that's 7 total of T32s we've seen?
That is 6 total.
6 total. Okay.
Actually, I did not add the... No, wait, did add the M1s. So we're good. Yeah, we're at 6 total.
All right. Llama Leaf's going to push forward first. Joined to his left by Camador, who is in the lower valley.
Opening scout run, Camador, Llama Leaf, both spotted. Sella being the scout. Good job, Sella. Nice run. Not too bad. He doesn't take any shells, though, for that. Llama Leaf and Camador both. I don't think we're paying attention.
And they're going to back up.
Ah, well, they're up against the hill now, so they should be just fine.
RBIS heading towards the east of the map.
Actually, they're kind of in almost a flight formation with the 1390s. You know, just flying around, going at full speed, getting ready for the counterplay.
The flying V.
It's turned into kind of a flying L, or it's like a delta. Right?
Oh, that could work.
Yeah.
All right, Akiyama's spotted. And Akiyama takes a big hit. Llama Leaf takes a hit for 235. They're staying in the engagement. They're firing against
Up
the
and
T-32.
over.
Ox Mathis is coming to the side, and the T-32 is almost down. Super low. They need to punish this. They need to stop Ox Mathis from coming in. Lord Reknaps and Big Cheese are pushing, but Sella is too fast. He gets behind the T-32 for one shot. Can he get another one? He gets it. Camador tries to get a shot on his side, but now he's changed. He's focusing on legit. There's too many tanks. They are like raptors surrounding their prey. Clever girl. Camador falls.
Reknaps falls, and it's just a matter of time now. Big Cheese and Callus do not possess the damage to finish this off, and Carbon Ward, well, being a consistent fire T-32, is just going to have fun.
Boom. Gets it against Big Cheese for one more shot. Callus able to dodge a hit, and Bao falls from Gabriel Angelos, the T1. Nice track shot from Carbon Ward in the consistent fire tank. Callus trying to escape the danger zone here from RBIS. Can't get it. He's tracked again. One more shot and he goes down. Dopper, last one alive from C'est La Vie. He's in the MS1. And he goes down. RBIS is able to take battle number 3 with a victory. And they're one battle away from closing the series. There is one draw on Abby so far.
Yeah.
What?
C'est La Vie was... The opening move from C'est La Vie is such that if your opponent pushes on you in the manner that we just saw from RBIS, you're at a disadvantage. There are not enough tanks with enough supporting lanes of fire to put out enough damage as you are receiving. The T-32 is effectively unsupported. He's out alone. The other 1390s are too far away, and they're not sniper tanks. They can try to snipe and make a response out of that, but you're going to lose your T-32 because you're reacting at that point. Unless you have guns already pointing in the right direction, it's not going to work. Llama Leaf was unable to defend himself.
Yeah.
That is the problem with that strategy that C'est La Vie brings.
But look at Camador right here. He's focusing on one tank that moves across. And then right after that, he focuses on another that's moving behind him. He could have landed another shot, but that's the chaos of that type of aggressive play style on Prohorovka, when you are causing your enemies to keep moving around, not knowing which target to fire upon. That's why you hunt in packs.
Yes,
it works very
but
well.
It's also, I think, C'est La Vie not being disciplined enough. They don't have the training and the discipline, the coordination to deflect the kind of aggression from RBIS. RBIS made the right move. It's very similar to what we saw from Simple Tankers with the 1390s and T-32s or T-69s. But it's just it's a solid strategy that counters that opening.
The T-32s, they can't be in that type of position because they'll get surrounded very, very easily. And just hit from behind, their weakest point. All right, that takes us to battle number 4 between RBIS and C'est La Vie. RBIS could close this out, or C'est La Vie could cause a comeback, bring it to a draw, and take us to a tiebreaker. Rukill, Ruinberg is the map. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 1390. Against C'est La Vie, bringing a 110. 3 5100s and a 1390. I think that 110 choice is very interesting. Plays much like the IS-3. Got to remind everyone, as we should probably jump to that 110. Take
There
a
he
look at
is.
what gun he's got on there. That's the 100mm cannon. That Shuka, of course, being so
Prominent.
Yeah, prominent is exactly the word. Just so strong.
Chinese developed tank.
Based off the IS-3. There's one being driven by Sella. And opening moves, Ox Mathis. All right, we've got a 1390 fight. And Ox Mathis is going to get to a stopped position first, giving him the advantage in this fight. Callus.
Oh, Callus dodged the shot. He
And
fires back and he misses, but he takes a hit from Ox Mathis.
Ox needs a track shot because here comes the counter aggression from everyone else.
Oh, no.
Love that strategy. I once used that in a practice when we were playing around with Ruinberg in 1390 mid control. That's how you beat it out. Usually a team like C'est La Vie, when they bring that opening move for 1390, they're going to support it with the East. A lot of teams do that. And so if you send your own 1390 in, what you end up with is a 1390 versus 1390 fight. The best 1390 of the first guy really to stop and be loaded wins. Now, the way to ensure victory is doing what RBIS just did and just showing up with everybody else on your team and saying, let's do this. And they did. And they won.
Now they have the overmatch potential because they've taken down one of the tier 8s. Gabriel Angelos was in a firefight. Bao Bao did fall here. Gabriel took a little bit of damage. Lord Reknaps and Llama Leaf are hanging over in the Delta Village. This allows the flag cap to the south to be completely exposed, except for Dopper, who can scout. F Crossroads are able to spot one of the tier 8s.
Bella's crossing, and he gets across. Okay. Something made me think Solo would get spotted. Ox Mathis does, and I guess that was actually good timing, because that allowed Ox Mathis to scare everyone back in a way. He backed into a corner. Everyone thought, well, he's back in a corner, I'm going to back off now. It's not good to hang out in the open. I'm going to get shot. And then at the same time, you got Sella crossing. I doubt they were actually trying to go for that coordination, but it worked out. It worked out. And now it looks like Ox Mathis, having backed off, is actually going to flip himself to the north. And we'll see maybe some aggression from RBIS on the north side. Or we could just see a cap defense as Ox Mathis is just running around in circles. Yeah, it's going to be Ox Mathis running around in
Yeah,
circles.
I was waiting to see if he was going to pitch left or right here, but no.
Yeah.
He's
He
gonna
took the right.
Stay his course. And Dopper's going to hang back. Still in a defensive posture.
It looks like Ox Mathis is just making the rounds, being like, hey, what's up? How you doing? You guys doing all right? Need some water?
Too
No?
early.
You're all
Too
good?
early for a victory lap, Ox Mathis.
Not a victory lap. Just a hey, how you doing to everybody on his team.
Well, RBIS is playing patiently here. They know that C'est La Vie is not going to come attack them. They're too low.
Yeah.
Too low on firepower. They're too low on traverse speed, mobility. They're too low on tanks. 33 tier points against 42.
That's a funny situation. Sorry, I'm recognizing that Bao Bao sitting there dead, right next to Aquavolt.
Yeah.
Doesn't even care. It looks like a strange
The thing that RBS is trying to be cautious of is a potential flag cap to the north, which could happen from C'est La Vie and them being overconfident, thinking, hey, let's just go for the flag cap and take the win, fellas. We got this. They're waiting, but again, if they wait too long and C'est La Vie is able to escape their firepower, it goes into, well, I take that back.
What?
It takes us into a draw, and it's an automatic win for RBIS.
Yep.
RBIS does not need to push forward. They don't need to do anything. They only need to wait for C'est La Vie.
Yep, C'est La Vie has to actually win the next 2 battles to
Yep.
take this to a tie.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Any more draws, victory, RBIS. Of course, RBIS also knows that they're not in a great position to actually make an attack. Problem is, if they attack along any of the incredibly long lanes from the north to the east, or from the mid to the east, or from the south to east, they could be walking into a crossfire. It's not advantageous. They don't have the scouting information, and Ox Mathis, I wouldn't say he's a bad scout or anything, but he doesn't seem like a player who is just a scout. There are players who are just a scout.
Yeah, there's multi-roles. Well,
He plays more flexible and balanced.
these teams, and we've brought that conversation up in the past, Rookkill, of do you have a more balanced individual player, or do you have specific specialists on each team? The strengths and weaknesses of both is if you have someone that can't show up and they're a strict specialist, you try to fill his shoes with someone that doesn't have this. Obviously, they're not going to have the same amount of experience, but it's tough to be replaceable. It's tough to be flexible in that case.
Ox Mathis, as the top damaging player on RBIS, he is one of the top players right now on his team, and he's just having such great statistically. He looks wonderful. As far as his play goes, it's also very well balanced. He seems to be kind of a jack of all trades and is just competent in every aspect. I haven't seen him really make any huge mistakes. And now he's in a 1390 playing the role of a scout. It may be because he is just good at the 1390. And I'm seeing him drive around a little bit, but I'm not actually seeing him try to take a whole lot of risk. On Ruinberg to scout as a 1390, it's a lot of risk. And actually with this timing, neither team knows it, but I think we're going to watch ourselves walk into a brawl as tanks will roll into the south, into the defensive position, but Akiyama and Sella are already in the south. Behind them, Legit still trying to get into the fight. Aquavolt moving up at the T1. Gabriel moving up, and there's some spotting. Lord Raknip's Commodore are lit, and Sella and Akiyama, instead of going forward, have decided, guys, maybe back up. No, forward is the best direction, and they've decided. Attack.
And Legit takes a hit for 324. Another shot. And it's Sella. Sella's getting lit up here. They fire back. Lord's Reknaps. Oh, Dopper is able to take down Aquavolt.
Wow. Very close.
With 2 HP. Akiyama takes down Commodore. Dopper's going to try to fire from behind. Lord Raknaps takes down Legit. Ox Mathis takes 60 HP damage from Dopper. Llama Leaf is unloading on the other side. He falls. It's a straight overmatch. Oh! Big explosion in ammo rack coming out of the T1. Lord Reknaps is surrounded. 2 tanks left alive for C'est La Vie. Reknaps falls. Big Cheese. Last one. 305 damage shot from far. Another hit from Carbon Ward. Turns fire. Big Cheese getting hit from behind. We're going to find out if a T1 can penetrate the back of a 110. Gabriel Angelos. It's going to be the thorn in the side of Big Cheese.
Can he do it? Actually, I don't know the answer to this question.
All right, we're going to find out.
Nope.
Negative. Cannot penetrate.
Nope. Probably the side, the lower side. Definitely, because
Ox-
I got to see a T1 do that.
Ox Mathis going for the side and the rear. 1390 can penetrate just fine. And Akiyama takes down Big Cheese. C'est La Vie falls. RBIS wins 3-0 with 1 draw on Abby. Well played by RBIS. I'm going to take a minute here and talk a little bit about C'est La Vie. We've seen teams in the past that have struggled, that have had a lot of trouble trying to get a victory at all in the series in the Gold League. The most important thing any team can do in this scenario, in this moment, is to realize, guys, we're not going to make it to the finals, but that's okay. Here's the best thing we can do with this situation. Let's learn as much as we can. Let's watch as much as we can. And let's find out who of our team is serious that wants to move forward in this league. And whoever's not serious, get rid of them. Cut them loose. Get someone else that wants to be part of the team, that wants to be in the Gold League.
But sometimes it does take a few seasons to build a strong team.
Yes.
All of our top teams, Simp and Fnatic, are some of the longest-standing teams in North American esports before WGLNA. Back to the very beginning, these guys competed, and they have that level experience, that breadth of time to get used to this game and to become the best. Other teams have just shown up, and they're doing exceptionally for the amount of time that they've been competitive, but they need to be given more time. They need to build up a team, a real core that has been together for a very long time.
There is no magic wand to replace experience. You can have the best individual tankers that you can find on the server. We've seen teams like that. Nerve, Pubstars, really good individual teams, individual team members, but the team itself lacked the cohesion because they didn't have enough time working together. C'est La Vie, we're going to continue to watch throughout the season. We'll continue to monitor them and see how they improve. RBIS gets the win, and they have a better shot of making it to the finals. Well played by them.